I was preparing for CAT 3 years because I wanted to get into a very good MBA college. I failed all the 3 attempts. Okay. And I was so passionate about MBA. And now when I get into MBA, I'm like, no, I don't think so. I'd like to work in a different company. I was like, let's start your own, which is very difficult. But yeah, I think I'm having so much fun. Trust me. When I was discussing with my family if I wanted to take up a job or start my own business, everyone encouraged, give it your shot. Start your own. So just imagine I invested a huge amount for my MBA and I was encouraged to start my own business. I think the next month itself, I started Creative Commute. I think within 2 days, I finalized my name. The third day, I found my first client.
Hi everyone, I hope you are doing very well. And today we have Alekhya with us. We have already done a couple of sessions. It has been 6 weeks that I am doing startup talks with Harshita, and I am actually getting a lot of new people, a lot of people whom I already know in the startup field. And today I have Alekhya. We have been talking for a long while. We did a session before as well, and today I'm very excited for this conversation. So hi Alekhya, how are you doing?
Hi Harshita, I'm super excited for this conversation as well. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Great, Alekhya. So I would love to straight get into what you do exactly, and not your typical introduction, but whatever you want to tell yourself to the audience, and then we can get started about what you have been doing and everything around that.
Okay, so currently I'm in love with social media. And when I say currently, that's exactly what I do. I'm a social media agency owner, and the name of the agency is Creative Commute. I'm obsessed with my clients' social media handles of how we can make them grow and make sure that they are always communicating with the right target audience. So yes, this is what we do if I have to explain you in short. As simple as this sounds, there's a lot of work right. We do as well. But yeah, social media agency owner is what I'd like to be called myself.
Right. Social media agency owner. Very, very good. Okay, so being particular in the social media thing, did you get interest into social media just to like initiating the agency, or like you had some experience or some interest before that? So how that initiated into you?
Okay, so here I'll tell you, I was always into writing. I used to write a lot, but I never really put out on social media. This was 4 years ago. I used to write on my rough notebook. I used to write quotes. There was this one quote which I had written that work so hard that people start to Google you, or something on those lines. I know these are very cliched, you would have already found on the internet, but something on those lines I would write, And then I realized that, okay, writing seems very exciting. And one of my friends was like, why don't you put such write-ups on Instagram? I was like, but who's going to read it? The only 5 people of my friends? Are you trying to tell, you want me to create an Instagram page for that? She was like, just go for it, try. You never know. So I was like, okay, let's try it. Then I started blogging. I really enjoyed writing long form content. So I used to write about personalities like Jack Ma. I used to write about, little life lessons, which I understood that how should someone look at relationships and all of that. I had no experience, but I just enjoyed the process of giving wisdom, researching about it, and to work on it and to create long form content. Then I created a page called The Resonating Thoughts. It still exists. Of course, I'm not active because I don't have time. And slowly and steadily, I think within a year or two, 2 to 3 posts of mine went viral in my city. So the post which went viral was 7 things every Marwadis would relate. And the second post which went viral was 7 things Visagites would relate. So 7 was my lucky number. I used to always write 7 things Bollywood lovers will relate to and all of that. But then there I got introduced that, okay, and I didn't know designing. I just knew how to write content, okay? No designing, nothing.
All of these you were putting on Instagram or like on any other platform?
No, only on Instagram. Only purely on Instagram. And there were some really great analytics which started coming out. Few of the people started reaching out to me that would you like to write for us and all of that. And I was like, oh, okay. So this is the power of social media. And I didn't know designing. So today a lot of emphasis was done that your creative has to be the best looking and all of that. But I believe that even the simple content can really take you to places if your content is very relatable. Then I was like, okay, this is okay. I enjoy writing, but let's understand the professional industry. So I took an internship in an agency based out of Visakhapatnam, my hometown where I currently stay. I worked there for 3 to 4 months. I learned a lot about things like Instagram marketing, LinkedIn marketing, how to generate lead gen campaigns. I learned about Google My Business. I learned about how the potential of social media can legit help a brand go from here to here. And this was back in, I think, 2019 or 2020. I'm not really sure if we are still in 2022. I know, but for me it's like a long period. And then I got into my college, where I was a part of the public relations and media committee, where they took part of the social media handles. Of course, there were, I think all of them were way more talented than I was, and I was like, oh, okay, they're such smart people. But yeah, I think so in my college from Symbiosis Bangalore, that's where SIBM Bangalore, that's where I completed my MBA, which I'll also reveal some shocking facts, but okay. So I never went to my college. I took it completely online. Yes. Why did I take online? I will get to that later. I've hardly seen any of my friends offline. Yeah. So my MBA experience was completely online, and so Geo Creative Labs had come to our campus, and I loved the job description of the internships which they were providing, and I was like, damn, this is something I've always wanted to do. So there I got exposed to, so I already knew like basics when I worked with my first internship. Like I knew how Instagram, LinkedIn and business is, how you can actually help build clients revenue. But I wanted to learn more on the creative part. I wanted to learn more on how do you think on the spot. I wanted to learn more about and I worked with like some really exciting projects there. We worked with some luxury brands. We were creating pitch decks for some really, really popular brands, which I don't think so will be ideal for us to reveal here. But there I learned, okay, this is how you pitch clients. This is how you think on the spot. This is how you manage. This is how the teams are managed. So the heads where I was working with, they were really happy with my work, and I was like, okay, after the internship, I was discussing with my dad that, hey, this is how the agency kind of makes money with, of course, agencies do make a good money. I want to be very straightforward here, but trust me, when I was discussing with my family if I wanted to take up a job or start my own business, everyone encouraged, give it your shot. Start your own. So just imagine I invested a huge amount for my MBA, and I was encouraged to start my own business. I think the next month itself, I started Creative Commute. I think within 2 days, I finalized my name. The third day, I found my first client because I interned with that organization also before. So I just messaged them, would you like them? And today that client is doing amazing in terms of revenue. We just started. So basically, we both started our association together in the digital this thing, because they never really invested in digital marketing before. I was their first. Today they are doing amazing, and they are having
this from offline coming to online. So might be
so they really earned massive revenues out of that, and slowly and steadily started getting clients, started losing clients, because then I realized I'd made so many mistakes. There were some brands which I didn't align with, but I still took up. I shouldn't have done that. So but now if you ask me, I'm in a much secure place. I know my strengths. I know the kind of brands I would like to work for, and yes, this is what my entire journey is.
Wow, that seems to be a roller coaster ride, because you have did your graduation, then did your MBA, and in the between you did internships, and then finally started your agency. So,
fun fact, I was preparing for CAT 3 years because I wanted to get into a very good MBA college. I failed all the 3 attempts. Okay. And I was so passionate about MBA, and now when I get into MBA, I'm like, no, I don't think so. I'd like to work in a different company. I was like, let's start your own, which is very difficult. But yeah, I think I'm having so much fun.
Did you ever thought that you want to work in a full-time job to get a tone of how the brand works?
Yes. I was always desperate. That I want to work under big brands. I want to work. I'd like to understand it better. But then I realized that you can yourself understand if you're employing yourself. Because यहाँ ज़्यादा इतना भी high stakes नहीं होता है. It's not like you're putting a lot of stake, a lot of money. You have a 10 team member to manage to pay. So I just started off alone. I wanted to experiment, and the learnings have been humongous. I don't think so I would have learned so many things even if I would have worked in a company. So I'm happy and I'm grateful I took this decision.
Wow. Okay, so let's take up your journey in parts, like one part by the, because I really want to know that how did you took up that, what mistakes you do in particular thing. So starting with your internship at Geo Creatives Lab. So at that time, what were your mindset? Were you attracted only by the company, or you were really interested in the position or learnings out there? Because I'm telling you why I'm asking this, because many of the freshers or people are just attracted by the company name, that they want to be a part of this company because they would be a geo team or any of the big four teams or whatever, but they are not really interested in the position or something. So what were your thing at that point when you actually
I'd be lying if I would say that work was the only thing which excited me. Of course, the brand really values. I was flexing in front of my friends and people that, hey, listen, I'm working with Geo Creative Labs. These are the kind of actors which come in. These are the actors we are pitching for and all of that. Some A-lister actors. Okay. But then once I started working with the organization, I then detached myself that I'm working with Geo Creative Labs. Then I was completely committed to the work. For me, it was just work. I used to work there a lot, and I used to work there with passion.
What was it, an in-office internship?
They gave me an option again. I took it work from home. I'm like, let's see. I think I was very much attached to a remote work. So I was like, okay, let's do work from home.
The pandemic has given us the luxury to work from home. Now we are just like putting all the positives on work from home, that we can do anything, everything. We get like people to meet online, and everything is going great.
Yeah, I kind of like work from home, and my aspiration is to make my entire agency a remote agency. So I'm not going to invest in any office as such. As of now, this is my outlook, because outlooks keep changing as you grow. But yeah, this is what I aspire. So where was I? I was talking about Geo Creative Labs, right?
Yeah.
Initially, the brand value really valued. The job description was like really good. I also spoke to one of my senior from SIBM Bengaluru. We were discussing. His name is Karan Ragani. He also is a agency founder of Mad Monkeys. So and he also started his agency as soon as he graduated, and I started. So we were just discussing, I had some apprehensions before I was getting into Geo Creative Labs before the rounds itself. But I think he helped me clear out. I think the support from your team, from your college mates was really important. And now when I look back, I think that was the best decision I took. I learned a lot. I got detached from the brand name as soon as I started working on it, because that doesn't really matter. Your work is work. If you're working for a small brand or a big brand, you have to work with integrity and passion and authenticity. So brand name doesn't really matter. I'm also working with a very big brand right now, which is 4 Points Sheraton by Marriott. It's a very big brand when it comes to luxury hotels. So initially I was like really excited. Oh my God, a big brand coming in my own agency portfolio. But now I take it as work. Of course, the brand really values, but once you're working, then you're just working. Then there's no looking back or anything.
first, because if you get yourself stuck in just the name, I don't think you would be able to focus on the work, because then you like keep flexing and you can just flex at some point only, na? Just for the one day or initial 2 to 3 days, and when people already know it, then you can just keep working.
Yeah. Now my only flex I want to make very strongly is how I'm helping my clients grow. I think that I'm going to flex a lot going forward. That's the only thing matters.
Exactly. So that was the point I was coming on to next, because I keep seeing your updates on WhatsApp or social media that you helped this client by this, and I think that's a pretty good statistic. So I would love to know your not the secrets, but your procedure of working. How do you help your clients grow their social media, and plus how they generate revenue from it? Because like getting reach on social media and generating revenue out of it are two different things, as I would believe. So I would love to know that how you work for them. And
okay, so I'll be honest, Harshita, there's no secret as such. I think all agencies are doing incredibly well too, and they are putting their best foot forward to always help their clients grow. So aisa koi secret there's no secret sauce or such. It's very simple. First, when a brand comes to me, it's very important that I analyze their business model. This is really, really important. Never take up any project if you're not having conviction if that business model is going to work. You have to analyze the business model. You need to see if there's enough demand in the kind of city they want to create demand. That's very, very important. Number 3, you need to understand the target audience. Does the target audience have a lot of options already? Are there already, or do you still have scope to make that kind of mark in your industry? So I try to go deep down that where the target audience is hanging, what is the type of content the target audience likes. I also go beyond Instagram and Facebook. There's my first brand who's still my client. We also did a lot of Quora marketing. We are still doing Quora marketing for them, which is so underrated, and Quora was a very big game changer for them. So it's very important. So I think if you are asking me how to help brands grow, it's very important that the foundation has to be really kick-ass. It has to be very strong, a very good solid website, very good optimized business profile on Google. They need to make sure that there's solid testimonials coming. There needs to be some community building if the brand demands, of course, because I closely work with the target audience 18 to 28 or 24, if I have to say. So I think this target audience demands a lot of energy. They want attention, they want creative content, they want engagement, they want everything. So you need to understand ki kya hai, waisa hai, and then accordingly try and test out what works, what not. A lot of marketers believe that you should put the content and test out for a week. That's not something I follow. I at least give 2 months to my strategy and then I review back. And intuition wise, you will get an idea that, okay, if it's going to work or not. I mean, data also helps with that. So, and I also am in constant touch with my clients. What is the lead asking you? What is the salesperson talking to them? What are the words? What are the keywords the lead is looking for? Are they having additional questions? That's so important. I think social media and all comes later. I'm telling you as a social media agency, that really comes later. You need to first fixate and get answers to these questions, and then you make a plan. And again, I want to tell you, anyone who's watching this video, it's not that in 10 businesses, I work all the 10 are successful. I also make mistakes. I also realize that these are my strengths, but I do make sure that at least 70 to 80% of the businesses I work with are definitely growing. So again, a lesson, you're not the best fit for every brand, and that's absolutely fine.
Okay, so on this note, you just said that you have made mistakes in choosing the right brand you want to work with. So what do you think that how a person should choose their brand they can work with? Because as a social media, like before the agency, obviously, a person works maybe as a freelancer or gets some experience through internships and know more about the social media management or social media marketing. So in that front, they might be going with a lot of brands, and some brands, the statistics can confuse you at times, that some brands are going good, some brands are not, but you are more interested in doing more of such brands. So how to calculate that and finally pick out a niche that these are the brands I would like to work upon now onwards, and then grow them simultaneously with the agency maybe.
Okay, so I don't think so I'm the right best fit to answer this question, because if you're asking me, I'm definitely secure as an agency, but I'm still finding additional niches. I might have fixed these two, like niche 1, niche 2 for sure, but I'm yet to figure out my niche 3. But I'll just tell you that how I could even fix my niche 1 and niche 2. That's very important, right? So that only happens with experimentation. It's very important that you need to, now if for example if you're a freelancer and if you're aspiring to be an agency, it's very important that you experiment with brands during your internships. It really helps, like especially when I was working with a lot of agencies. So I started to work with those brands and I was like, oh wow, this niche is so exciting. Maybe I don't like that niche. So you get that inherent thoughts. Make sure that you're maintaining an Excel sheet. You're having 3 headings. Really interested, maybe not at all interested. If you're having that, and keep writing the industries that this works, this does not work, so you will have a clearer picture. Now for me, I don't think so I will ever be happy to work with a manufacturing brand, with a brand which is manufacturing into spares and parts and all of that. That's because I did work with one of the clients. They're still an amazing client. We are still in great terms, but I don't think so I'll be able to be their best fit. So manufacturing is one area. But if you're asking me what are the brands which I'm comfortable, I love hospitality. I love the ed tech sector. And now going forward, I'm also experimenting with some health brands, with some brands which also demand personal branding. So I've got a lot of requests that can you handle our LinkedIn profile. So I'm also going to experiment personal branding for entrepreneurs, and let's see how that goes. So yeah. So that's how you have to make an Excel sheet. Make sure you will inherently know that you like working, you do not like working, and keep adding. But experiment, work in internships. Don't experiment in your startup. Work in internships, you will get a lot of idea, and then you can probably start your agency accordingly.
Right, exactly. We can take up different projects or internships in different fields.
Yeah. And it will take time, okay? 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It will take time. You will not instantly be able to find that. It will take a lot of time.
Okay. Got your point. So I have one last question for you, Alekhya, and then we will wrap up with, because I really have a lot of things to talk about, but let's keep it very crisp. And I'm loving this conversation. So last question, that there are already a lot of social media and digital marketing agencies in the industry. Currently there are a lot of coming up daily or weekly. Every single person is going ahead, because every freelancer in this domain have a future plan of starting their agency. So I have 2 questions for this. That firstly, did you ever had insecurity that your agency may work or may not work, or you better go with a freelancing thing? And second, how did you made Creative Commute stand out from the pool of agencies out there?
I'm glad if you think it's standing out from the pool of agencies. If you think so, that's a good compliment. Number 1, no, I'm not insecure at all. Because there's enough work for so many people. You need to take this in writing. And I don't aspire to work with 20 brands, 25 brands, 30 brands, not at all. I just want to work with specific, maybe 7 to 10 brands, that's it. And I really want to help them grow quality-wise in terms of revenue and everything. So I don't think so I'll ever be, hopefully, I shouldn't be able to struggle to find 7 to 10 best fit brands for my agency. And no, I'm not at all insecure, because I know the kind of work, the kind of dedication, the kind of hard work, and the kind of experience my team brings in is definitely, I wouldn't say the best, but we are striving to be the best. So there's no insecurity. I admire, in fact, admire so many agencies in India. And I always, whenever I see any agency owner or anyone putting their post, I'm like cheering for them always, because being an agency owner is one of the most toughest route one can take. I'm not kidding. When I started off agency, I was like, oh wow, I'll be making money out of something I love. And then now I realize, oh my god, I have to take care of the marketing of the company, I have to take care of the finance of the company, I have to take care of the HR of the company, I have to be the account manager. I need to make sure that the right deliverables are always there in the right time. I have to always think of the ROI, make sure that I have my meetings with my Facebook ad strategist, with my content team, with my design team. So it's not easy. So I would highly recommend that anyone who's thinking of starting an agency, please understand that these are the things which come, and then take up a decision, because you can anyway earn really good being a freelancer, probably even rather more than an agency owner. So just letting you know that.
What was your pick of not being just a freelancer and going with an agency?
Because I didn't know designing, and I wanted to give the best content teamed up with best design. I'm not a great performance marketer, so I needed to collaborate with a good performance marketer, which will help my clients grow. I just knew organic marketing, but I wanted to serve more with that. I wanted to team up with good designers, great copywriters. And when I say that I aspire to work with 7 to 10 brands, I don't think so that's feasible for me as a human being to work with 7 to 10 brands completely, where I take care of everything. And one thing I really realized about myself, I love working in a team. I think I really love working for the team, thinking about them, thinking about how can I earn more so that these guys earn more. I always talk on those lines. Like, I don't really tell ki yaar mujhe itna kamana hai. For me, the narrative is I should be able to hit this revenue so that my team members are able to build a life out of this. So I think I love this process, that because of me, there are people who are going to fulfill a lot of wishes, which is why I also created a WhatsApp community. I'm sure you're aware of that.
I'm a part of it. This was the best community I ever have. And we are also having a Twitter challenge.
Oh, yes, we are. Yeah, so it's all about uplifting people and all of that. There are 140 plus people in the community which I have, and I aspire to make the community even bigger. I started figuring out that I love teaching people also. I realized that there are different facets of being a founder, and I love that. I love the process.
Great. Okay, Alekhya. So I think this can be an end of our amazing discussion. Thank you for being there. Thank you for putting up sharing all your experiences, and thanks a lot. Would love to know how was your experience being here.
It was an amazing experience, Harshita. You're doing some great work. You're collaborating with so many startup founders and inspiring so many people to think on their own. So kudos to you. I know that you are evolving a lot with each day. So thank you so much for having me here and finding me credible enough to be a part of your series.
Great. Thank you, Alekhya. Thank you everyone for being here with us for the
thank you guys.
Bye-bye, and see you in the next episode soon.
Yeah, bye.